Good morning. Uh, Over Pesach, I read a story I wanted to share with the Olam. It says that it happened on the first day of Pesach, first day of Passover, that someone came crying, on Yontif, came crying to the Satmar Rebbe, the chossid, one of the chassidim. He said, Rebbe, my wife and I worked so hard getting ready for Pesach, and we were so exhausted with all the preparations that we slept through the Seder, and he was crying when I read the story, brought to mind Rabbi Belzer. He said, in Israel, they always use the term Akol B'Seder. It could be a statement or a question. Everything is in order, or is everything in order? And the word Seder means order. Everything is on the Seder. So Rabbi Belzer said, they don't realize what they're saying. Everything is relying on the Seder, on the Pesach Seder. It's such a holy time. How many people, I myself, I think, how I came to religion was from the Seder, the Pesach Seder, by my Zayda, Olav Shalom. So, everything, the Seder is such a big thing. And here this chossid, a pious Jew, he and his wife, they slept through the Seder, they missed it. And you can imagine, what kind of heartbreak that is. Someone who doesn't understand what that means might not understand, but if you understand how important the Pesach Seder, in particular a chossid, should miss the Pesach Seder, it's devastating. Now, this story, Satmar Rebbe's reaction to this Jew who came crying to him that he missed the Pesach Seder, to me is bigger than all the stories of Moipsim, all the stories Rebbes, they do miracles, this and that. I think to me this is even bigger. People say horrible things, chas v'shalom, about the Rebbe. They don't know who he was. They don't know the meaning of the words they use. It comes to mind certain people, I won't mention a name. One famous secular scholar, claimed to be a scholar of Kabbalah. He wrote a lot of books in Kabbalah, but he was not Bikaras. He said horrible things. He didn't know what he was saying even. There was no greater Oyev Yisrael in our century than the Satmar Rebbe. No one had more love for the Jews. This is real Ahavas Yisrael. What was his response to this Jew who was crying? He missed the Seder. He comforted him. He didn't say, "Oh, you're going to hell." He didn't say, He said, "Oh, no. It must be. That's why Chazal, they were masakin a second night Seder. That's why our sages established that on the second night we also have a Seder. And tonight you're going to do a good job and have a good Seder." Can you imagine such a thing? Now that's bigger to me than all the miracles. To have that sensitivity and that love and that compassion for someone who is so heartbroken and sincere, to say, you have another opportunity tonight, and you're gonna, and not only you wish a blessing, you should do it well. He assured him you are gonna do it well. And that's how we can approach life all the time. When we said, "I call the Seder, everything relying on the Seder," that's another message of the Seder. If you didn't do the first Seder properly, so there's a second Seder too. You'll have another opportunity. God is a God who gives us second chances. Even in the Torah, we have Pesach Sheni a month later. People who miss the Korban Pesach, an opportunity a month later. Our God is a God of second chances. And that's what the Seder teaches us. That the first night we didn't do it the way we want to, so we have the second Seder also. Even we did have a Seder, not like this Jew, we missed the Seder. And that's what the Satmar Rebbe taught us. Once it was in the Shilos and Chuvas, it's printed. The famous thing, a lot of tzaddikim brought the same thing. It's already from Chazal. And very simple, we say every day in the weekday prayers, every weekday, Slach lanu, we ask God to forgive us. Ki chatanu, for we have sinned. Mechal lanu, pardon us. Ki fashanu, because we have committed iniquities. And then we end, Baruch Ato Hashem, Chanun Amar B'Lusloyach. Blessed are you, the gracious one, the merciful one, who is abundant in forgiveness. No, he said, no matter what you've done in your life, God forgives us. And the fact that we say a blessing to talk about God's forgiveness, it would be a blessing in vain. It would be taking God's name in vain if it wasn't true. And so, if we really sincerely regret something, God is gracious and abundant in forgiveness. And that's the message of the Seder. Every Hakol Seder, everything's in the Seder. You know, once Satmar Rebbe, they asked him on a boat, someone saw it, everyone loved him so much, and they asked him, how did this come about? He said, because I love them. Like it says in Proverbs, like the water reflects, Mayim panim lefanim, like so does a heart reflect another. His love reflected in the others, and they loved him. It's the same thing. That type of compassion, that type of love, to say, no, there's a second Seder, and you are going to do it well tonight. That is really greater than all the stories of miracles of Rebbe's doing Malfsim. This is the real Malfus. That type of love, that type of compassion, and we should all be worthy to have that type of compassion, that type of love, that type of sensitivity, and that type of faith to know that we have a God who loves us, who forgives us, and who gives us a second chance to get everything in order. And we should be zeiche to see soon the coming Mashiach to Kingdom. A good Yantiv, a good Moed, a good Yantiv to everyone. Happy Passover.